2026 just might be the best year to be a Morrissey fan because earlier this year we got Makeup Is a Lie. We got the Makeup Is a Lie tour. We got the recently announced Notre Dame Deluxe single. We got a newly announced Zoom Zoom the Little Boy single with the B-side of Without Music the World Dies, which I almost kind of predicted, but not quite. We'll get into that. And then we got a new album announcement that will be recorded next year. So this is going to be a really laid back video. I'm just going to talk about all the new Morrissey news because it's very exciting. You know, I'm eating good. We're all eating good. We have a lot to talk about right now. So starting off with the Notre Dame Deluxe single. I'm just going to bring that up. I know it's kind of old news, but I haven't really talked about it on the channel. So about a month ago or so, a vinyl single release of the song Notre Dame was announced with an orchestrated version as well that's never been heard before, and the deluxe singles of Hello Hell and Happy New Tears are included, which is awesome. It's just what I wanted. In that last video, me talking about Makeup Is a Lie, I just said that there should be a physical release of the deluxe songs, and that's exactly what happened. I think the album cover is very good. You know, him performing on stage, I think looks awesome. It almost looks like it has like a pretty funky filter on it, but it looks cool. A lot of people are saying that's better than the Makeup Is a Lie album cover and how it should have been the actual album art. I still think that album cover's fun. It's cute. I don't see a problem with it, but you know, whatever. But yeah, the only thing that's really worth talking about this, since it's kind of old news, is the delay, I'd say. I pre-ordered it when the pre-order released the first day that it came out, and the single was supposed to be available on May 22nd, I believe, Maz's birthday, but it was delayed more than a month. It's gonna come out on June 26th, which is a pretty significant delay, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is just because it's a little bit concerning, you know, Sire Records' second release and it's getting delayed. But a month delay isn't the end of the world. It's just something to pay attention to for sure. Just like, what's going on there? Because we don't really know what happened as far as I'm aware. You know, it could just be production issues, but it also could be, you know, the beginning of some unraveling. I hope not. But you never know. You never know in the world of Maz.
If you stick your grandmother in an oven, she will probably be tasty.
Okay, and now the real new exciting news is that literally randomly on June 11th, right? I'm just hanging out. I just had my overnight orientation at my college, so I'm just in bed, just laying there. And then I saw this notification that was like this album cover, this new album cover, Morrissey, and this, forgive me, I don't know who the woman is, but then it says Zoom Zoom the Little Boy, and then underneath it, Without Music the World Dies. I was like, hold on, what? Is this a mistake? Is this fake? But then I see underneath Morrissey Central, that's the website, but this was on Instagram. So then I go to the Morrissey Central website, and sure enough, there it is. He just randomly posted it with no context, and this is after a big rant about Morrissey being like impersonated by like a bunch of different people. Like they were like slanderizing his name. I don't really know what was going on. But then he randomly just posted this album cover, just left it out there. Like, what? So big news. And now back to my prediction that I was mentioning earlier. In my first video on this channel about my review of Makeup Is a Lie, I said if there was a full deluxe edition of the album released, I said that Without Music the World Dies could potentially be a track added in there. I have a theory that if a full deluxe edition comes out that's more than just the two songs, we might see Without Music the World Dies on there. Anyone agree? And this is not very far off, you know? A single from the album being released with it as a B-side? I mean, that's kind of like an add-on to the album. I don't know. I think I was kind of close. it's not, it being tacked on a completely different album. It's still kind of connected to it. I don't know. But in my opinion, this is fantastic news. I think the live rendition of that song is so great. I've listened to it a bunch of times because I was losing faith that I would ever get a studio release. But it's getting a release, supposedly. I'm still gonna mention a little something about that. But yeah, it's great. And it gives hope, for a Bonfire of Teenagers release. Those songs still have hope. If Without Music the World Dies can get a release, those songs can too. But the reason I say supposedly is because I'm eagerly waiting a announcement from Sire that this is happening, because this is only available information on the Morrissey Central website right now. It's not even on their Instagram account. I've been refreshing it like crazy just to see it on there, but it's not. And it hasn't been acknowledged by Sire yet, so I'm not going to get any hopes up, not going to get too crazy until Sire says, yep, this is happening. Trying to have a little bit of skepticism, with the delays of the Notre Dame Deluxe vinyl, and now this just kind of coming out of nowhere. But I'm really excited. And now let's talk about the new album, because on June 2nd, on this really long-winded post on his website about the vinyl, about the single for Notre Dame. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong too. I don't really know how to say it.
Notre Dame.
But at the very end, it was a really long post too. He was talking about controversies with past band members and people just kind of making a big hoopla about things that he claims aren't true, like different infighting that people are theorizing about that just didn't happen. According to him, I'm not sure if there's bad blood between anybody. He says there isn't. Some band members says there isn't. Who really knows? Who really cares, honestly? By the very end, he says, "Thank you for everyone for buying Makeup is a Lie." He says a certain injustice was corrected. Him not being able to release an album for that long, and then people, supporting it, very nice. And then he says that the new album has been written and will be recorded in January and in France. So it's another France album, which has some people a little upset because, some of the newer albums have been recorded in France. People aren't really happy with the modern production and just the way albums have been, cycled. I have been happy with the newer releases. I like I'm Not a Dog on a Chain. I really liked Makeup is a Lie. So I'm not too worried about that statement. Yeah, that's all we really know about it. But I thought maybe I could just take this time to do a couple theories, just, off the dome, just, some thoughts I have right now. So my immediate thoughts on this album is I think it's going to be on the leaner side. I don't really know why, but that's just kind of the feeling I'm getting. Now, most Morrissey albums are 11 to 12 songs. We've never had an album with 10 songs. Your arsenal literally has 10 songs, you fucking chud. You claim to be a fan, you fucking fake fan. That's one of your favorite albums, really? You don't even know how many songs it has, you stupid fucking idiot. But for some reason, 10 was my original number. But for now, I'm going to guess 11. I'm going to go with 11. I think it's going to be lean. I think the runtime is going to be pretty short, too. I feel like it's going to be close to 42 minutes, maybe. I just, for some reason, I don't really think this is going to be too ambitious. I think this is going to be pretty similar in tone to Makeup is a Lie. But the thing is with Morrissey is that every album is different. He doesn't have two albums that are exactly the same. So if I had to theorize in tone, I'd say probably maybe a little darker. I think Makeup is a Lie was very mellow, but it had some more jaunty and happier tunes in there, like Zoom Zoom, The Night Pop Dropped, songs like that. So I think it's gonna maybe go in more of a darker, brooding tone. In my opinion, I think this is gonna be all new material. Him saying that it's already been written implies to me that this is all new stuff. I don't think we're going to see any Bonfire of Teenagers recycled on this album. And that's not me saying that I don't want it. I'm just saying that's not likely. And I can't really see that happening. As far as Bonfire goes, I think it's possible that maybe he could just drop it randomly on Spotify. Not really give it a big push, like in between now and the new album. You just kind of throw it out there just as a gift to the fans. But if not that, I don't know. I really don't know. It could be afterwards. But just the more he just lets it sit there, I feel like the less likely it's going to come out, which is really sad to say. I think now would be a great time, just like a little bonus, just have this be like the year of Moz and just give us another album. That's what I think would be a good idea. It could be like the end of this year just to keep the hype train going for a new album, just to keep like the content flow like so constant. Just to do it in a couple months, I think that'd be a great idea. But I don't know. I'm not sure. If he doesn't want to spend the money on it, he could just do an exclusively digital release, just put it on Spotify. He doesn't need to do a vinyl, even though I think that would be a great idea. I think it would sell really well. But yeah, I don't expect to see any of those songs on the new album. So yeah, 11 songs, 42-minute runtime. And for a title, I saw people joking saying that like an Injustice Made Right would be like a funny title. So I'm going to go with that. I think it's going to be, Injustice Made Right. That's the new album, guys. And the album cover is going to be a younger picture of Morrissey. I'm going to guess circa 2012. It's going to be 2012 Morrissey. And the album cover is going to be green. Because we haven't had a green album cover yet from him. I don't think so. No green hues yet, so it's gonna be green. Well, I guess the Notre Dame Deluxe one's kind of like, it has some like teals. It's a very interesting color, but this one's gonna be green, like a lime green, or I don't know, like grass green maybe. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I don't know. That sounds kind of weird. It's gonna be like You Are the Quarry with like, but it's gonna be a green background, and instead of a gun, he's gonna be holding a bomb. Here's a quick mock-up I did of the album cover idea. So let me know what you think in the comments. The amount of people who would unironically take this over the Makeup is a Lie one is unfathomable. But here it is. So yeah, like and subscribe.